Hello, and welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel. Today we're going to be discussing about the Concacaf World Cup qualifying final round. Yes, it's the final round. We've been waiting a long time for this phase of qualifying to start, and I'm so glad it's finally here. But it's a little bit different this time. Usually we talk about the hexagonal, which is 6 teams in the final round to decide who goes to the World Cup from the Concacaf. But now, due to COVID, we got 8 teams. Yes, 8 teams. And the 8 teams are Panama, Jamaica, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Canada, USA, and Mexico. So this is going to be a grueling test for all of these teams. During each international break, there's going to be 3 games per each international break. So squad depth is going to be a major key in my predictions and in these games that are kind of coming up now this week. So it's going to be a long and grueling phase. Top 3 teams will directly qualify to Qatar, while the 4th place team goes into the Intercontinental Playoff, and then from there they will see if they qualify to the World Cup. So, this is going to be a long preview. I'm excited. It's going to be fantastic to see. Can the USA redeem themselves? Will Mexico continue their dominance over CONCACAF? Can Canada and Jamaica finally return to the World Cup? Will Honduras make it back? Can Panama and Costa Rica continue at the World Cup like they did at 2018? And maybe El Salvador, the little minnows, are they finally back? All we're going to find out. Let's get into the predictions and the preview because that's what you guys are here for. So let's get into it. In 8th position, I have Panama. Panama are going through a bit of a transition phase right now after qualifying for the 2018 World Cup, which was pretty much a miracle, I could add. Thanks in part to the US failing so badly, but Panama fully deserved it. They performed pretty decently at the World Cup, I thought, but they conceded a lot of goals. And now heading into these CONCACAF qualifiers, didn't go so well at the Gold Cup. They went out in the group stage. It wasn't the greatest performance by them, I thought. So the manager, Thomas Christiansen, became manager of Panama last year, but it just seems like the Panama Federation, they're going through a restructure, I would think. And they're now just restructuring with the players. A lot of the players that qualified to the 2018 World Cup retired from the national team straight after that World Cup. And now there's younger players. So the younger players are kind of inexperienced with this CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, which is really grueling. But if there's one player we definitely have to watch out for in this Panama squad, it's Murillo, the right back from Anderlecht, who's a very good right back, one of the best in the CONCACAF area. So I just think it's going to be a big struggle for Panama. I just don't see how they can replicate what they did in the 2018 CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. It's going to be a struggle, so I have Panama in 8th position. In 7th position, I have El Salvador. El Salvador, who have vastly improved in the last 4 years. Almost 4 or 5 years ago, they were ranked as low as 140th in the FIFA rankings. And right now, they're 64th in the world. I think this can only be down to one man, and that is Hugo Perez, who took over in 2021 from the previous manager. So the previous manager did well. Hugo Perez then took over, got them to this phase of the World Cup qualifiers. They did excellent at the Gold Cup, I thought. They gave a great match to Mexico where they should have maybe got a draw there. And then they came back and almost drew with Qatar, being 3-0 down, but lost eventually 3-2 in the game. So El Salvador, who have actually qualified twice to the World Cup before, 1970 and 1982, and they have a grand total of 1 goal in those 2 World Cups. So is it going to be a struggle for El Salvador? Yes, they don't have the squad depth compared to all of these teams. They have players playing, a couple of them in the MLS, some in the USL, but the squad depth isn't there yet for El Salvador. Maybe we'll eventually get there because they're using now a lot of dual nationals as well from the USA that represent El Salvador. But like I said, Hugo Perez, the manager, has been doing excellent. He has good tactics, and he seems like he's getting the players to play his philosophy. And if there's one player we have to watch out for who did well at the Gold Cup, Joaquin Rivas, dangerous striker, scored a couple goals at the Gold Cup. So if that's one guy we have to watch out for this El Salvador team. But I just think the squad depth might just be an issue for El Salvador because there's so many games in such a tight window. So I'm going to have El Salvador in 7th position. In 6th position, I have Costa Rica. Costa Rica are a very experienced squad with players like Brian Ruiz, Keylor Navas, Joe Campbell. They definitely have experience in the squad. And I mean, Costa Rica seem like a regular now to qualify from CONCACAF to the World Cup. They made it to 4 out of the last 5 World Cups, only missing out in 2010 World Cup. But there's no real emerging talent, I would say, coming out of Costa Rica to replace these older stars. Yes, these older stars have experience, but can these older stars and their legs really survive from this grueling CONCACAF phase of World Cup qualifiers? It's going to be tough to say, Yes, they made it to the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup, but they lost to Canada 2-0, and it wasn't the greatest performance, and I wasn't so impressed by them in the group stage phase. Yes, they were missing Keylor Navas, but they had the likes of Brian Ruiz there and Joel Campbell, so they had most of their first team squad there. Now, I just don't think the squad depth is there for Costa Rica either, like I talked about for El Salvador, but they have much greater talent than El Salvador. I just think the squad depth is going to play a key factor for Costa Rica, and that just might be their downfall this time. Yes, they have great players, but I just think Costa Rica is always a tough place to go to. San Jose, you don't want to play there. I mean, USA lost last time 4-0 at Costa Rica during the World Cup qualifiers. Tough to say, but I think this is the time now Costa Rica don't qualify, and I'm going to have them in 6th position. 5th position, Jamaica. Now, I don't know what to expect from Jamaica. I don't think anybody can, really. This is the team that's just, they have a lot of players coming in. We don't know if they're going to play because of England, COVID rules, and all that kind of stuff. But can they qualify to the World Cup? Their only ever appearance was in 1998. But now, like I'm talking about, with the influx of British-born Jamaican players like Michael Antonio, Kamar Roof, mixed in with already Jamaican players that they have now, Leon Bailey, Kamar Lawrence, Jamaica are definitely improving. But I have one big question about Jamaica, and that's the manager, Theodore Whitmore. He's just not a good manager. His tactics are very, very defensive. And if Jamaica want to qualify to the World Cup, they cannot be defensive. And can he put all these pieces together? That is the big question. Yes, Jamaica looked pretty on paper, but then on the field, they could look god-awful. I wouldn't even be surprised if that's the case. There's no real continuity in the group, or maybe there's continuity, but there's no real experience with playing each other. That's the thing, you need to get experience playing with each other in international football. If you don't, teams are going to find you out, and you're going to pay for that. Now, Jamaica, they can definitely qualify to the World Cup with these players. Will they? I just don't think it's the time yet. Just not yet. I'm sorry, Jamaica, just not yet. Your time will come. You have great players coming through, and it's great to see Jamaica finally getting back to winning ways in football. I just don't think the time is yet. Maybe the key is to sack Whitmore. He could be sacked during these World Cup qualifiers if he gets off to a bad start, because at the Gold Cup, when they lost to the US in the quarterfinals, it wasn't a good performance by them whatsoever. Yes, they did well in the first half, but the second half, it was too defensive. So, that's my key issues with Jamaica, and for that reason, I'm sorry, Jamaica, you're going to be in 5th position during these World Cup qualifiers, but the future is looking bright for you guys. In 4th position, I have Honduras. Honduras, who I'm very impressed by at the Gold Cup. Yes, they lost to Mexico 3-0 in the quarterfinals, but that doesn't really matter. They had so many injuries. They had COVID issues in those games. I'm not too worried about that. Honduras is the definition of Concacaf team. Physical, tough place to go play at. You don't want to play in Honduras. Who wants to play in Honduras? That heat, the crowd, everything around Honduras is tough. And the team is tough. They play with a physicality. They have good younger players that was shown up at the Olympics. And they have some experienced players to mix on with that. Mino Figueroa, still playing. This guy is still playing somehow. And with dangerous attackers of Kyoto and Elise. Elise just got the move to Bordeaux in the French league, so can't take your eye off Elise. I'm not too sure if he's selected for the qualifiers in September. We're going to find out. I think Honduras can be the best of the rest. I think they have experience, they have a physicality, they have some good playmakers, they have some players that can score, and they have a Minor Figueroa who can lead the squad. I think Honduras will make it to the 4th position and get to the Intercontinental playoffs. So Honduras, 4th position. In 3rd position, a team that has not qualified to the World Cup since 1986 in Mexico, and I think they're going to finally make it back to the World Cup. It is Canada. Canada, who we always think of as being an ice hockey nation, is turning into a footballing nation, guys. You need to check this out. Under manager John Herman, Canada have improved and impressed for the last couple of years. They did excellent at the Gold Cup this summer. They gave a real tough match to Mexico, only losing 2-1 in a pretty controversial Concacaf match. Why, it's just Concacaf in a nutshell, that match at the end. But they have some great players, and they have some big stars as well. I believe now that they can return to the World Cup finally, and I think that would be the great achievement for Canada. When you have players like Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David. And you have an emerging star like in Tajon Buchanan. And Tajon Buchanan should get a move to Europe. I think he definitely deserves it. He performed great at the Gold Cup. I just think they have good continuity with each other. It seems like all these players have played a long time with each other, and that's very key. If you have experience with each other, you're going to play well, and the future is bright for Canada. I think the time is now for Canadian football to rise and qualify to the World Cup. And I think they're going to do it. They're going to finish in third place, get that last spot to automatically qualify to Qatar. So Canada, third position. In second position, Mexico, who lost 2 finals this summer to the USA, but are looking to try and qualify for their 8th straight World Cup. Could be 10, but they got banned in 1990 from participating in the World Cup. We all know who their manager is. It's the fantastic Tata Martino, who was a little bit questioned, I would say, after the Gold Cup and the Nations League final. You can't lose to the USA in Mexico. It's just that's how it is, unfortunately, for anybody who's managing the Mexican national team. But also, Mexico created a lot of chances during the Gold Cup, but nobody could finish. Literally no one could finish, it seemed like. Yes, they were heavily relying on Funes Mori, but Funes Mori is no Raúl Jiménez, and Raúl Jiménez is back in the squad. Yes, he hasn't scored yet for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League, but he came back from a horrific injury, so we're going to give him some time to get back to his normal self. Now, if he doesn't return to his normal self, who's going to score the goals then for Mexico? Could it be Chucky Lozano, Jesus Corona, Funes Mori, like I talked about? These players have to step up. Now, the midfield, it's an aging midfield. Cuadrado, Herrera, Alvarez, but Alvarez is younger, so he's fine. I won't bring him into this situation. But Cuadrado and Herrera, they have to, for 3 games in an international break, can their legs hold it? That's a big question mark for Tata Martino. He's going to have to decide, will he play those guys every single game? I don't think he will. And just one thing, Tata. You need to play Johan Vasquez. This guy is a fantastic defender who just made the move to Genoa in the Serie A. But at the end of the day, it's L3. They will qualify to the World Cup, surely. Remember 2014 World Cup qualifiers? You got a little bit testy there, but this Mexican squad is too good. If they struggle and don't make it to this World Cup, obviously Tata Martino is done. If they struggle and get to the 4th position, it could be also Tata Martino done. Will that happen? No, of course not. Mexico will be fine. They will make it to the 2nd position, automatically qualify to Qatar, and Mexico should be fine. So Mexico, 2nd position. And in 1st position, 1 team left. But this doesn't feel right. Wait, I'll be right back, guys. Much better, much better. 1st place, USA. USA, who had a successful summer, winning the inaugural Nations League, beating Mexico, winning the Gold Cup, beating Mexico with basically a C squad, B squad. Now, the team is full of confidence. Greg Berhalter has got the fans excited after missing the World Cup in 2018, which was a complete and utter disaster. Now, the one question I have for this USA team is, what is our style of play? Are we going to be more of a possession team? Are we going to be more of a counter-attacking team? Are we going to press teams high? Are we going to play 5 in the back sometimes, maybe? I don't know what to expect from this USA team still. There's been a lot of pieces put together, a lot of players being tested, a lot of younger players, and this is, I think, the plan for 2026. We're bringing all these young players together, building a cohesive squad, and then for 2026, we're going to go for the World Cup, it seems like. But for now, the main thing is getting back to the World Cup after the fail that we had in 2018. But I could go on and on about the players that we have, but the player that everybody should watch out for, Pulisic, Reina, Dest, Zach Steffen, John Brooks with his experience at the center back position is going to be vital. Tyler Adams at the CDM spot, he is a massive part of this team. If Tyler Adams doesn't play, USA might struggle. But I think Adams, he's healthy right now. He's starting every game for RB Leipzig, which is vital. So, of course, I think after winning the Nations League and Gold Cup, USA should be first in this Concacaf World Cup qualifiers, and they will be. So I'm going to have the USA first. And you guys let me know in the comments, what is your predictions for the World Cup qualifiers in the Concacaf region? Can Jamaica surprise? Well, not surprise, but can Jamaica make it back to the World Cup? Will Canada finally return back to the World Cup? Can Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador, can they return to the World Cup? Obviously, El Salvador has been a long time since they qualified, and they're rising as a football nation once again. Panama, trying to go back-to-back, could struggle maybe a little bit. Honduras looking to come back after missing 2018 World Cup. And Costa Rica trying to make it to a 5th World Cup out of the last 6 World Cups. But you guys let me know in the comments your predictions, what players to watch out for, and all the drama that comes with CONCACAF, because we know there's a lot of drama. But thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you're new around here, remember to subscribe to the channel. I will be covering the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers with some live streams, so you guys can stay tuned, join me in the chats, then we'll recap the games. Obviously, it's going to be difficult for me to watch the games live, so I have to watch the highlights and try and rewatch the full games. But you guys subscribe for that content, because it's going to be some good content coming up. Like the video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers bring some drama. Hopefully not to the USA this time, because we don't need that. But thank you for watching. Stay safe, everybody. And peace!